In Greece, a seismic crisis involving more than 13,500 earthquakes between the islands of Santorini and Amorgos is now in its 22nd day. After a state of emergency lasting until March 3 was declared on the municipality of Santorini on February 6, three other islands similarly states of emergency declared followed suit, specifically Amorgos and Anafi Island on February 13, and Ios on February 14. And this is despite the fact that, like I suggested was probably going to occur in a previous video, that the earthquake swarm is truly declining, with this pattern holding since February 6. While every single day this month had seen more than 200 detectable earthquakes strike in the swarm alongside 2 to 27 magnitude 4 or larger earthquakes, the number of overall earthquakes on February 14 was the lowest of the month at about 190, with 0 magnitude 4 or larger quakes striking. Due to the highly scattered and infrequent minor damage to structures this has caused, along with some additional small landslides, 13,200 of Santorini's 15,000 residents have left the island. While some news sources and some specific other YouTube channels are using blatantly false statements to claim that, for example, everyone should leave the entire Aegean Sea, such claims are completely nonsensical and not grounded in any form of reality. Experts such as myself currently similar earthquake swarms deem the earthquake swarm to be unusual, but purely tectonic in origin, not volcanic, possibly related to fluids moving along regional major fault lines associated with localized crustal extension in the Santorini-Amorgos shear zone. While the current earthquake swarm is the largest to in historic time strike this geologic setting, it is not the first, with both a weak swarm in 2019 and a stronger swarm from January 26 through 30 of 2011 striking northeast and southwest respectively of Christiana Island. In other words, this sort of tectonic swarming has happened before and probably will again one day. However, while possibly related but probably just a separate Santorini volcano, near simultaneous occurrence is the fact that a slow low-volume intrusion of magma is probably ongoing at the Santorini volcano, causing molten rock to rise and pool at around 6 km depth, which, ongoing to existing models in its current state, has a 0 chance of triggering an eruption. This has been occurring since June of last year, meaning it has been harmlessly been occurring for 8 months now, and it is still harmless. So, don't panic. While we have absolutely no clue how long possible earthquake swarm duration the ongoing tectonic earthquake swarm will last, I am making a broad educated guess of at least 8 more days, with the potential for a slightly elevated rate of lower magnitude earthquakes to occur with rare and far weaker smaller earthquake swarms during the next 2.5 months. In my opinion, it currently appears, based on the current location of the striking earthquakes, that only magnitude 4.5 or greater earthquakes have a theoretical, albeit very very low, chance of triggering minor landslides on or near steep cliff faces on Santorini and possibly Thracia Islands. What I just said is not backed by hard science. I am making an educated guess that probably has a greater than 95% chance of being wrong. Regardless, for that one person that asked me if they need to cancel their wedding in the summer, which is planned at the bottom of one of these cliffs in Santorini, my current opinion is still an easy no. Don't cancel it yet. With all of this in mind, it came to my surprise when 2 news sources referenced apparent experts' analysis of possible false claims, which made the following series of claims. 1. The Colombo volcano may be experiencing uplift. 2. There are views that a minority of scientists familiar with the situation which suggest that there might be some form of magma movement unrelated to the Santorini and Colombo volcanoes near the island of Enidro, with additional claims of extinct and previously unknown volcanic craters being found paralleling the ongoing earthquake swarm. 3. That increased water temperatures and slightly increased gas emissions were found on and around the most recent cluster of Santorini's Nea Kameni Island that completely formed in the last 455 years. I want to state that I cannot find any form of evidence to support any of these 3 claims, and since the apparent news sources didn't show any graphs or charts with said relevant data, I am sorry, with no disrespect, but I will have to dismiss these claims as false since they are without evidence that I can independently verify. Don't get me wrong, any or all of these 3 claims could be theoretically correct, But that's not how science works. Something isn't true until it's proven false. Instead, claims are false until repeatedly proven to be true. And, once again, it is still fairly safe to visit Santorini as long as you keep out of areas on or beneath steep cliffs and designated closed-off areas for the time being. Stay tuned for more updates. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member Bill Dorsum for supporting my work.